Apologies on the house cleaning. Please give this channel a chance by supporting it through channel memberships, and please consider supporting my other channels by liking and subscribing to them as well. I will be putting up some content soon. I promise it really will happen. So look out for that. All right. So there's many ways to go. So I will not do a full-on review of Aaron's decline in subscribers. I want to do a few more things to double check there, but I will do a very fast overview, and then we're going to get into the SPTV Foundation's curious status at this point. So for those living under a rock, Aaron Smith-Levin had to put it mildly, very controversial parting of ways with the Aftermath Foundation, which he co-founded with some other ex-Scientologists. And for a while, the charity seemed to be doing well. It was a legit 501, and things were going swimmingly, but behind the scenes, there was just a lot of problems. And to be fair, Aaron was not the source of all the problems, but he was the source of a lot of them. And it's shocking to say this, but I guess a few years ago now, technically, though really it's 1 year and maybe 4 or 5 months, he formally left and created his, quote, new foundation, which took about 10 or so months to gain allegedly charity status. But really, we don't even know what it is. So Aaron has reassured us it is now finally a legit charity foundation. But and I can check again. I don't think we know the EIN number still, which most charities have. And the Aftermath Foundation, at least, shows us proudly. So don't even know if it really is a legit charity, but let's good faith that it is. Where is it exactly and what is it exactly? Well, we don't know, because for a while, people were going back and forth on whether they were staying on the foundation or leaving the foundation. So at this point, it appears to have 6 people on the board, including Zach, although Zach's very weird. So the foundation is meant to be sort of a place that the ex-Scientologists or people wanting to leave Scientology can go to. On the other hand, it does have, quote, room and space for people who are not strictly involved with Scientology, right? It has George and Zach, who don't have any real connection to Scientology. But we go to Zach's profile, I guess, because it's also simultaneously trying to promote people online and their YouTube channels. But at this point, Zach's YouTube channel has been yanked. Why did it go away? I don't know. We don't really know. Again, usually more professional foundations give out press releases. But Aaron has just eliminated that need, I guess, because we know immediately, because he will tell us saying, yeah, this person is on, that person is not here anymore. Why exactly? Don't know. I mean, the number of changes and shifts to just the board members is insane. They've had many more members. I mean, I've lost count. I think they had 3 to 4 members, though sometimes it's technically 5 to 6 members that used to be on the board, but they didn't make the final cut. Like, one person was almost going to be on the board when it was formally launched, but that person went away. Why? Don't know. Seemed totally negative. Let's look at the positives of what the foundation could be and where it is. So Barb, a former moderator for Aaron, a lot of people keep asking, who is Barb? Barb is a moderator who modded for Aaron's channel and some of the channels of the ex-Scientologists, and even non-ex-Scientologists, like The Lifeboat with Scoville. So she's moderated for so-called the big channels and small channels. So Barb was asked, well, why aren't they doing any formal fundraiser? Because Aaron did put out one video that was very specifically about the foundation. And to put it mildly, he was going crazy about how much money would be pouring in and how it would all be tax-free. And the YouTube was just great because he was getting all the money directly. It's just so much money would be pouring in. So how much money is there? Well, Barb estimates they have about 30,000. Now, Aaron has said elsewhere they have like $50,000 to $60,000. So we don't quite know. If it is a legit charity, they do have to disclose this. So eventually we will know more or less the assets of where it is. So, again, being brutal for like $100,000, that puts it as a very, very small charity. Usually charities are, at the very least, in the millions, right? They have to have these huge reservoir, whether it's good or bad. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but charities usually have that to be a serious charity with like in the $1 million range or higher. So it's a very, very small charity compared to most other charities by far. But still, that is a respectable sum for what Aaron is setting up to do. But what is the goal? I don't know. It doesn't really have a professional staff as far as we can see. It just has the board members and presumably some volunteers who help behind the scenes. And that is about it. So this is a very small charity compared to most charities. Beyond that, despite having a war with the Aftermath Foundation for months and months and months, now apparently the official line is that Aaron has no official problem with the Aftermath Foundation, which would have fooled Claire Headley, who clearly senses that they're very hostile to her foundation, and she's the president of the Aftermath Foundation. In fact, Claire was asked officially by Natalie, who's the official treasurer, would you like to collaborate? And it wasn't even a no. Claire just did not respond to anything. So at this point, despite Aaron's formal commitment that there's no hostility, clearly they really don't want to do many activities together. Probably the only thing they did officially together was that conference, and that's not something the Aftermath ran. They just met up at the same place together. So it's very, very chilly to say the least. And you can't really blame Claire because at this point, the Aftermath Foundation has its own problems. But yeah, the SPTV Foundation has just been dogged by many of Aaron's scandals. Why would a more prestigious foundation, which has more money, we know for sure it has about $200,000 in assets, why would they risk anything to link up to your charity, which is very suspicious. It just doesn't add up. Like, no president would do that anyway. Whatever you think about Claire, she's making a very wise, rational decision for the Aftermath Foundation. So it's looking kind of bleak for what the SPTV Foundation's future is. Now, I'm trying to stick to the facts. Here we're going to get more speculative, and let's be very clear. These are very biased sources of information. Very biased. So Nora and her community are saying, and this is again behind the scenes, it would be nice to know if we get some names and dates here, but some people are asking for their money back that they gave to the SPT Foundation. Okay, good luck with that. I mean, I'm all for asking your money back because these are transactions, right? If you want to give to a charity, but then have doubts, well, yeah, it's your money. You should be able to ask for it back in principle. However, given the realities, I mean, I imagine if enough people do ask for the money back collectively, they could just hire legal assistance. Because short of a lawyer formally forcing Aaron to give back the money, I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he cares. And that's an additional dilemma here. He is the president of the foundation, right? So we have, quote, direct communication with him. So presumably, if something's wrong with the money, they should be able to answer these questions and give feedback fairly quickly, right? That's part of the virtue of having all these online personalities being part of this charity. But thus far, we haven't really gotten any, as far as I know, real solid numbers from Natalie, who's the treasurer. We just know vaguely it has tens of thousands of dollars. And again, Barb has said, and again, Nora has confirmed, they have helped a few people, right? How many? We still quite don't know. I would hazard a guess about maybe a dozen people have been helped, right? Barb says they have helped people even without giving them any direct funds. So maybe it's giving good advice, so on and so forth. But the number is fairly small for a charity of that size. It should be able, with its funds at this point, be able to help at least, 50 or so people through small grants. But some people have affirmed they are helping people, right? Aaron's not just keeping the money, he is doling it out. But is he giving it out for the right reasons, with good criteria? We don't know. And Aaron's channel has suffered, well, grievously due to the Jenna videos and other scandals as well. So it's lost roughly 11 to perhaps as many as 12,000 subscribers. At this point, officially it seems to have 236.5 thousand subscribers. And Aaron is boasting that he's not buying any engagement, he's not buying any subs, and he is growing. But it does seem to have stalled its growth by a lot. I mean, at this point, the average video gets, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 views on average. And it used to get, 20 to 30,000 on average. Like, that's just a fact. Just look last year. Don't believe me. Just go through the videos. You'll see it for yourself. Like, yeah, 40, 50, 30,000. Like, the low point would be like 20,000. Now, for a channel like this, which has less than 3,000 subscribers, that would be insane. Those would be really great numbers. But if you have allegedly subscribers, not even over 50 times the channel of this size. Like, that's insane. So for a channel of that size to be only getting 10,000 people regularly, and I double checked, sometimes in his lives now, he gets like 600 people, which again, those are pretty good numbers, but he used to get like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people normally. So yeah, that's a huge, huge decline in popularity in only 1 year. So clearly, this is not due to the Scientology problem. This is due to an Aaron problem. So, will Aaron have to go away as the president? I doubt he will go away. I mean, the charity will have to suffer more losses, like really have no money, and then formally he would just go away. Because again, this is just something he does technically for free. He's not getting a fee as far as we know. But it would shock me, though not too shocking, if we do find out he actually tries to get a regular salary as the CEO of the charity. I mean, it's like, okay, I mean, I guess you could do that on paper, but what are you doing to earn that? Don't know. So at this point, small charity, it has helped a few people, but it is so scandal filled and has so many questions about finances and about what the goals are, even who is on the board, that yeah, its future is very precarious. I mean, you can just have a small charity that is of its size, but that is very rare. Most charities try to gain more money and more supporters, but at this point, it just has locked in its loyalists, and that's where we are with the SPT Foundation. What exactly it's a foundation of, we really don't know, and I don't think Aaron is going to clarify anytime soon. But hopefully, in a couple months, he will give us a more thorough breakdown about where exactly we are with the SPT Foundation, because some people of goodwill are giving it money. So it'd be nice to have some accountability, just a little bit.